Hello, this is Winston Cunningham, and it is August 25th, 2025. I'm redoing a talk because there's something went wrong with the one I already had, and it'll be different than that one was, but the same subject. I want to talk about the pain in childbirth. Early in the Bible, I can't tell you exactly where, but there were the words, "There will be pain in childbirth." Now, this is not talking about a woman giving birth to a child, except in allegory. The picture language indicates that this is talking about when you give a child, the baby, giving birth to a baby means you're giving birth to a new idea, a new part of yourself that's in the process of development. That's what it represents in dreams and in reality. So the pain in childbirth simply means that anytime you're starting something new, there's some pain involved. And pain doesn't necessarily mean ouch. Pain is when you continually experience something over and over without paying attention to it. If it's something you need to see, and it usually is, then the pain will continue and increase, linger, until such time as you choose to pay attention. The key word is pay. When I started doing these talks, the first one was a friend of mine interviewed me at his home on his Facebook page, and it lasted for 2 hours, and he's a Kurdish fellow, Cameron Kurdi. You can find that talk somewhere if you like. But he would ask questions, and then I would answer, and then he would speak Kurdish for a while. I don't know what he was saying. He could have been saying, "I don't know about this guy." I don't know. But we became friends. We just walking around at the Y, talking around the track, and just got to talking, and we still talk whenever we see each other. And it's been several years I've been through. He wasn't married then. He was talking to his future wife as we were walking around and talking about that. And I went to his house for his daughter's Ariana's first birthday, and that was an experience. And now he's have a son named Aaron. And so we've known each other for a while. And he came to my house, and we sat outside the picnic table, and he interviewed me again. And that one was like an hour and a half. Having trouble with my voice, that means either there's something I need to say, or I'm having a problem with something I'm saying. One or the other. So I'm going to take time to figure that out. Now, just excuse my gruffness or whatever it is. The pain in childbirth. When I start something new, as doing these talks was new, I'm a little more comfortable with it now. Maybe a lot more comfortable. But I've done well on this. I think in we're close to 70 of these talks, varying lengths, from 4 minutes to 37 minutes, and most of them are about 20. But there's been a lot of kinks that I need to work out, and still a lot. As you can see, I need a total dental makeover. And I will do that eventually when I can do it. And when I first started this, I could have used that as an excuse to say, well, I don't like the way my teeth look. I'll wait until I fix that and then I'll start. And then I caught myself. That's habitual thinking. And I just talked about that on another talk, addictions. But I didn't let that stop me. Yeah, it would look much better if I already had the work done, or the dental work done. And might even make me smile more. But anyway, I didn't want to wait. One of the things I've learned is it's best to just go ahead and get it done. Go ahead and do it. Don't let, as Dan Condren pointed out in one of his books, and I've got a few of them that I rely on. I think it's Dreams of the Soul Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. I think it was that one. But he pointed out that don't let any situation get out of hand by putting it off. And man, I've put off a ton of things. One guy at Y asked me, he said, "Are you just a procrastinator?" Because he could see that in me already. But I'm overcoming that procrastination, and there's more that I want to change in that. I'd like to be the person that just jumps into it right off the bat and gets it done, and without it, and I'm not quite there yet. I'm doing better than I did, and that's what I look forward to. You know, I'm 81 now. We'll be 82 in October. So, and as I was telling the fellow at YMCA, that as long as I'm improving every day, then I'm doing all right. Now, I want to do better, but it starts with doing all right. And acceptance, I did that talk, because acceptance is not the end result. Acceptance is the only true beginning. When you can see what is occurring now and can move to make corrections. That is how we move more into who we really are. So look to see whatever you're getting started doing. Look at how the pain in childbirth is showing up for you. Make a list, a mental list, write it down, it doesn't matter. Pay attention to what is showing up, and as you step toward getting what you want, what you need to know will be presented to you. It will be part of the unfolding of this. And so, and I'm learning with, I've tried to ignore the need to learn to use the laptop or the computer and the iPhone and all this stuff. I fought that for as long as I could, but of necessity now, it is before me to learn more about these things, and I got a good friend that's helping me with it. But I still catch myself wanting to just, and I even told him not long ago, I said, if I could afford it, I would just hire somebody to do all this stuff for me. I would just do the talk and they can do everything else. But see, what I need for myself and what I need to learn is I need to become more adept at working the computer. And the computer, and to help with that, I got a friend that lives here at the campground, and amazing mind on this one. I've come to understand that she thinks kind of like a computer. And for me to understand her and the way she talks, because she tells me about 10 times more than what I need to know. But it's relevant to where she is and what she's explaining. But just yesterday when I spent some time with her, and reflecting back on that after the experience, I said, well, I'm seeing more clearly now that she is like the laptop, because the laptop says to me sometimes, when I try to turn it on and do something with it, it's like the laptop is like a woman said, get away from me, don't touch me, I don't know you. And so this lady, when she talks, she knows what she's saying, but it's like she's talking another language. But she has a degree in this accounting, and so she has a different way of understanding things. And so I have to keep telling her, well, can you direct me to the bottom line here? If I, so I'm learning to be patient. This is another way to use patience. This is a part of what's showing up as part of the pain in childbirth. There's a need to know to be more patient. So if I'm patient, just like working with a laptop, once in a while, I'll hit on something or my friend will show me something and, well, once I can see that, it looks simple. But I had needed to learn the language of the computer in order, and so I don't know the language of the computer yet. So what I hope for once in a while is to make a connection to enough to where I can do these talks and get them uploaded on YouTube. And right now I'm needing help with that. So this is part of the pain in childbirth. There's things I need to do to get to where I want to be, or to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. And another talk I did is getting old is a choice, and I tell people all the time that you don't start getting old till you run out of something to do. And I got a lot to do. So I don't have time to get old. Like George Jones, I don't need no rocking chair. Anyway, that's the idea. The pain in childbirth. Oh, there's so much. Whenever you're starting something new, when you take a step toward getting what you want, there will be something show up. Oh, you need to learn this as a part of getting there. And then you take another step. Oh, there's something else I need to be aware of. So it's like the step forward, or the step toward what you want, is nothing more or less than becoming more aware. And I'm just now hearing that in this particular way. That's what happens sometimes. A lot of times what you're looking to understand will come out of your own mouth. So pay attention to what you say. And a lot of times I'll hear something come out of my mouth. Did I really say that? It's amazing. But there's a lot more to us than we know how to relate to. And that's why it's set up to where once you make a decision about what to do for the next lifetime, once you check into this body, you're pretty much oblivious to everything before. And that's by design, because it would be a lot to handle. Because everybody has a lot of learning from previous lifetimes that they don't know anything about, that they could know if they do the work to open the doors to see. It's like Jesus said, knock and the door will be opened. Ask, you will receive. That's how I found the School of Metaphysics. I said, I want the truth. I don't care where it is or what you call it, I want it. But what I said next is what caused it to be. I said, I will have it. And that's when the School of Metaphysics showed up and explained there, had it all laid out in logical order for me to learn. And I stayed long enough to get what I needed. I didn't stay to get the whole program and I didn't understand at that time why there was that interruption, but I understand it better now. It's because to accomplish what I set out to do this lifetime, I need to stay focused on this middle ground where I am, not where I imagine myself to be. I need to respond according to where I am. And that's what I encourage other people to do. That's why I call this the next step, is because I talk about what step I'm in and what, by being totally involved in the step that I'm in, I begin to become aware of what the next step is. And I want to stimulate that in other people. They don't need me as a guide. They already have a guide, and it's within. I just want to stimulate them to connect with what is already inside, what is already there. Everything you need, you already have. That's the amazing thing. And every morning when I look in the mirror and say, damn, you again? And if I look a little bit longer, I said, well, you know, I'm uncovering things. I'm getting more acquainted with myself. And every person that comes along, whether the experience is good, bad, or ugly, it's a reflection of me. Otherwise, I wouldn't need to see it. This is one of the amazing things I found out through my experience, is that if it gets my attention, it has something to do with me. So I don't need to go anywhere to see what my next step could be. It's all in here. And but taking that step is the pain in childbirth. As Dr. Barbara Condren pointed out to me at the school where I was when she was there one time, and she demonstrated it. When you lift your foot off the ground taking a step forward, the world is out of balance. When you put your foot back down, stepping forward, it's in balance again. Now, if you get addicted to that balance and stay there, it becomes stagnancy. So the idea is to continue putting one foot in front of the other, because it's a series of being imbalanced, balanced, imbalanced, balanced. That's part of the pain in childbirth. It's accepting the feeling of that imbalance. That's simply the alertness that there's more to see. So the next step is to be still and know that I am God. It's about being still. And I practice that continually because I've learned that my own soul will give me what I need when I need it. I just need to be aware. I need to be ready to hear it. And that requires me rising above any addictions. That's it, rising above. The pain in childbirth. To add to this story, now that I've mentioned that a child represents initiating something new in yourself. Just for the fun of it, go back and reread every time Jesus mentioned children. And read that again and again until you can get a picture of what he was saying and how it relates to you. And while you're at it, get a copy of the book, Universal Language of Mind, Matthew Interpreted by Daniel Conran. And it will point out how to see pictures in the scriptures. Just like it's the same language you get that your soul provides dreams, the language of mind. It's the picture language. And it is beyond value, beyond value. The School of Metaphysics provides the structure of mind and the language of mind, and probably many, many other things. But what I see is that this is unique to the School of Metaphysics. It was time for it, and they brought it into play. That was part of the creation of the School of Metaphysics. And there's more. The real purpose of the School of Metaphysics is to usher in the age of intuition, which is the 6th day, and that's another talk. But all of these things are available. Just check out som.org is the school's website. For a unique experience, go to the book list at som.org and just see what gets your attention. And what gets your attention is your soul's way of pointing you to something you need to see. Your soul is your guide. But it won't force you to see. It simply says, you want it, you got it. Consciously, it is up to you to decide what you pay attention to and to get more productive with what you pay attention to. And this is where distractions, which become addictions, I could give you a whole list of things, but just start observing around you and see who's addicted to what and how they're closed off to paying attention because they're addicted to something. Use your observation as a way of gaining greater insight. I'm Winston Cunningham. Talked long enough today. Thank you for listening. Bye.